How can data be described by a single number? Think about this question during the lesson. How can Carla find the average bowling score of 5 bowlers?
Remember, average and mean are the same thing.
The mean, or average, is the sum of all the numbers in a set of data divided by the number of numbers in the set. By looking at the set of data, will the average be greater than or less than 95?
Just by looking at the numbers here in yellow, is our average going to be greater than 95 or less than 95? And how do you know? Grace? Okay, but remember, you're going to add them all up to get the sum, Grace, and then you're going to divide that number by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because there are 5 numbers in the group. Kyle. Okay, so we've heard 2 graders. Someone who thinks less, and why? Give us reasons why. Destiny?
I think less because there's all the other numbers are in the 80s.
Okay. Brendan, do you have anything to add to that? Uh-huh. Okay. It's going to be less. It's going to be less than 95. And the reason I know that is because, like we said, an average is found by adding them all up and dividing by the number that there are. Well, it's also an average is about where most of your numbers fall. Okay? So we only have one number here, 95. Nothing is higher than that. Nothing is greater than that. And most of our numbers are in the 80s. So our average is going to be less than 95.
The average will be less than 95 because most scores are less than 95.
Okay? That's like, guys, if we take a test and most of my class does not meet the target score, and a handful of my class does meet the target score, then our average is going to be not meeting the target score because most of my class, more of my kids did not meet the target score than did. Okay?
Will the average be greater than or less than 80?
What do we think? There. Was that someone's iPad? Okay. Shh, guys, he's not doing anything wrong. Will the average be greater or less than 80? Will our mean be greater than 80 or less than 80? And why? Caden? Right, it's going to be greater than 80 because all the numbers in our data are more than 80. Very good.
The average will be greater than 80 because all of the scores are greater than 80. To find the average, add the numbers in the set of data. How many numbers do you add?
5.
You add 5 numbers because there were 5 players. What is the answer? The sum of the 5 scores is 430.
Now we're not done. We divide by 5 because there are 5 numbers in that set.
Now divide the sum by the number of numbers in the set. What is the answer? The average or mean score for the 5 bowlers is 86. How many scores are below the average?
We have 1, 2, 3 of them who are below average.
3 scores are below the average. How many scores are above the average?
2.
2 scores are above the average. The mean, or average, can describe a set of data with a single number.
In the guided practice, first of all, Your first step, even though it's not going to affect you finding mean, but when you find median, mode, range, anytime you're dealing with this set of numbers, your first step is to always do what? Make sure they're in numerical order. Like I said, it's not going to change anything when you're finding mean, but like I told you at the beginning of the lesson, usually mean is not separated. Usually you're given a set of numbers, like could happen on my step, and it would say, find the mean, median, mode, and range for this set of numbers. Okay, and that would be your first step. So let's go ahead and do that. We need 4, 4, 5, 8, 9. 4, 4, 5, 8, 9. Let's just find all of them. Okay? Even though mean, we're feeling ambitious here. Here we go. Mean, median, mode, range. We can do it. Here we go. First of all, let's just go ahead and start with some of the middle number and the most and the range. Those are easy to find. Median, the middle number. What is our middle number here? 5. If we take 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, we're left with 5 in the middle. What if you have 2? Did that ever happen to you before last year? Did you talk about what to do?
You have to do both of them.
Right. So, for example, listen. I'll give you an example of that in a little bit, Corinne. Okay? I'll give you an example of that in a little bit. Mode. The number that appears the most, Brody. 4. Only one mode here. 4. Range. We find that by doing what, Lawson? How do you find range? That's the mean. The range. Okay? High minus below. So 9 minus 4 is?
5.
5 is our range. Now we're finding mean, what our lesson today was about. So, our first step in finding mean, like Lawson said, is to add them all up. So, 4 plus 4 is? 8 plus 5 is? 13 plus 8 is? 21. 21 plus 9 is 30. Now, don't be afraid to actually add those all up. Okay? And now, 30 divided by the number in our set. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 equals 6. So our mean is 6. Now, this goes with the question that Corinne had. If you have a set of numbers, so they have to be lined up. So let's say I have 4 and 5 and 7 and 10. Okay, here's my set of numbers, and I need to find the median, which is the middle number. But look, if I take 1 away, I'm left with 2 in the middle. Well, I need to find the number that exists between the two of them. And that number then would be 6. Okay? Now, sometimes there are numbers that are close together, like this. Let's see, 4, 5, 6, 10. And here, if I get rid of 1 on each side, I'm left with 5 and 6. So my number between 5 and 6 is a decimal. My median then would be 5.5, 5 and 5/10. Now, I know, show this again. Sometimes it doesn't come out that easily. Sometimes, I'm trying to think of an example where this is going to happen. Okay, so let's say I have 4, 5, 9, 11. And I have to find the median, which is the middle number. Okay, so get rid of this, get rid of this. An easy way to do it, an easy rule, and I think I heard Daniel say it earlier, is to do what, Daniel? Oh, I thought I heard Daniel say it earlier. Abby?
5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
An easy way to do it, I heard somebody say it earlier.
I didn't say it.
Okay,
I started
it's to add them up. 5 plus 9 Okay. Sorry, Corinne. 5 plus 9 is 14.
It was Kyle.
Oh, sorry, Kyle.
Sorry,
Sorry. Okay. 5 plus 9. Listen up. You add them up and you divide by 2. So 7, it automatically gives you your number in between the two. 7 is my middle number.
If it doesn't divide by 2.
Huh?
Yeah, what if it doesn't divide by 15?
Then it's going to be decimal. Like,
Divide by 3?
no, never divide by 3. Divide by 2. Let's do another one. Let me stop this, and then we'll.